Well, uh, we're going to talk about one more comic book, one that hasn't come out,
Bum, bum,
but
bum.
we got a chance from our friends from ONI Press to read. It is Out of Alcatraz, number one. It's written by Christopher Canwell with art by Tyler Crook. And it follows convicts Frank Morris and Clarence Anglin, who have washed ashore in San Francisco after surviving their infamous escape from Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary in June of 1962. I have questions for you guys about that in a second.
The
They soon meet
Rock.
their gruff and disappointed handler, a mysterious young woman who's also running from something, and hope to quickly get their way north to the border, if they can even make it out of Modesto alive. As a dog, as a dog federal manhunt and chance encounters threaten their desperate convicts, everyone involved is about to discover the same bloodstained truth. Life on the run is an even more hellish prison than Alcatraz could have ever been. Um, we're gonna start. Josh, initial thoughts on Out of Alcatraz, number one.
I really liked it. It was actually, I think, a lot better than I expected. I do believe the premise of the story is based on a real event.
Okay,
I think in
that was my question.
Yeah, I don't know about like the fourth guy left behind that they mentioned, but I do
Mhm.
know three people escaped and were never found. But it was really good. I mean, just as a crime book, I thought it was fantastic. I know Tyler Crook from what was that Dark Horse series he
Four
did?
kids walk into a bank. Is that it?
No, there was that one, but then he did one with like it was it had crows in it. Anyway, never mind. That helps no one.
Okay.
Yeah,
The Crow.
The Crow. Yeah,
The
exactly.
Crows.
I love that movie. No, but yeah, it was great.
Oh,
It's
the Lonesome Hunt. Lonesome
Lonesome
Hunter.
Hunters. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Which I think he wrote and drew.
I think
Um,
we did that on the show for the first one, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, it was great. It's a really tightly told story that just leaves you with just enough mystery that you're like, what the hell is going on? Right.
Mhm.
I do question getting from Modesto, California to Maine, which is, I think, where they're going, right? Like, isn't that the ultimate location?
The
Um,
premise, yeah, for sure.
yeah. So, but no, it's great. I am hooked. I cannot wait for issue 2. So,
Nice. Jeff, what did you think of Out of Alcatraz?
Yeah, I really thought it was really good too. It's a period piece, so that makes it cool too, because it happens in like whatever the 60s or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
So there is that kind of added element to when you're on the run from the law, where you're like, if you were to try it today, it'd be a lot harder because there's cameras everywhere and stuff. So, but now you're kind of like, well, nobody knows who anybody is. You're a small town. But it kind of reminded me a little of what was that Finding Oswald's Body or something that came out a couple of years ago
Well, I
regarding
was
all
going to
the matter
mention that
Finding
because
Oswald.
that's also a Christopher Campbell book.
oh,
Is it?
So
Oh, okay.
I think he likes to have fun with historical moments and then kind of like expand like a possible lore.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think that's very fun. So yeah, I'm
Maybe we
glad
get
you brought
our
that up.
DB Cooper comic from him then. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a very tight uh written story, and it ends on kind of the cliffhanger where you're like, oh, definitely hooks you. Let's
yeah,
let's keep going
yeah.
with it.
Yeah, I agree. I also really enjoyed it. I like the premise itself seemed fun, like just to follow the people that are getting out of Alcatraz. Is there a Clint Eastwood movie where he escapes Alcatraz? Am I thinking of the right person?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's something like that. Yeah, I know what you're thinking of. I don't
Okay,
remember what it's called.
which I've always wanted
I
to watch because I find Alcatraz very interesting.
mean, you only
Just
need to
the
watch The Rock. The Rock is the only Alcatraz
Right.
movie worth
The
You
Rock is
just
watching.
the only
need
one.
Nicolas
Uh,
Cage with his long curls blowing in the wind, and
mhm.
you're good. You're set. That is the perfect description of this comic.
Yeah, I guess so. It could be. Now, I'm also a pretty big fan of Cantwell just because I really like *Halt and Catch Fire*. That was a really,
Oh,
really he's
Yeah.
the
that's his show.
series?
Mhm.
I didn't know he did that. That is a great series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
and he did one of my favorite runs of Doom. And so I've been kind of following like any book that, and he did *Plastic Man No More*, which I think both of us really
Oh, he
enjoyed, right,
did.
George?
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
And I did
Yeah,
like that.
and then
Even
he's
though it was dark as shit.
yeah, yeah, very much so. I mean, this book deals with a lot of dark themes as well,
Yeah,
which
sure.
is I like, especially as you get through the book and things kind of escalate. I feel like the tension itself mounts very in a very fun way, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe now because you think about it, like it's the '60s. Like I don't know, how do you even find someone back then? Like I
Yeah.
can't even fathom what like you escape from prison. Like that's it. You're like other than word of mouth. Like as long as you're
Right.
being careful and laying low, like how do you even find anyone ever? Right? There's been cases of people like that just kind of led completely separate lives as other people. Because back then you could just probably become someone else completely. Unless
Yeah.
so I like
That's
the
kind of
conflict.
what I felt like while reading it. I'm like, once you've gotten off the island, then what?
Yeah,
And they
yeah,
talk a
like
little bit about, because the police do kind of come back in and they're like, well, we, XYZ,
Yeah.
no spoilers, but like, so there are like small ways where they can be like, oh, we think something might be going on, but you're
right.
right. There's like no definitive, like nobody has GPS. Nobody has like
I mean,
OnStar in their cars or anything like
right.
that,
No one has
They're
camera phones to like check like is this like I don't know.
Right.
but what I think is also because I had that same thought, but then I was thinking about the fact that I'm like, what? Why are they going through all this stuff? Because of a deal, right? Like if I were them, be
Yeah,
like, all right, now we just go into hiding, like go our separate ways. We
that,
won't be found.
that's
But
what I'm
there's some,
interested. Like,
yeah,
what is
exactly,
that deal? What are they fully getting at? Like, because to
exactly,
me, is like, are they getting a new identity after whatever
right,
after they deliver on their part or like something like that? There's also conflict because, like we said, three guys attempted to escape, but only two made it on land. Um, So yeah, I really think it's a fun concept,
hmm
which looks great. Tyler Crook, like the
oh, so,
art is just
yeah, it's
fantastic.
beautiful.
It very feels of
Oh,
that period, right?
yeah,
Like whether you go to they go to like a bar in one scene, they go to like a little convenience store or like a little convenience store. Even just seeing the candy drawn and all that
oh
stuff.
yeah, the whole wall of like just product that he's staring at is
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
So, and then of course this conflict like with this handler and how they're gonna
Hmm
what they're gonna have to do and how they're gonna come back. So yeah, it's very good. Really enjoyed it. I'm glad we got a chance to read it. It looks like
Thanks.
it's only 3 issues and then they'll collect that into a trade. But they're
Oh,
three big issues. They're like 48 pages each. It was a long read. You get a
but
lot
it
of
didn't. It didn't feel long
right.
to me,
You're
at
right.
least. Like
I agree.
I blew through it, and I was actually kind of shocked to look at the page count and go like, oh my god, it's 44 pages. So
This to me does feel like something that was pitched as like a fully original thing. And then
that
they're
makes
like, "Oh, we have to cut it up into pieces. we
right. Yeah,
we have to cut it up into pieces.
yeah.
Uh, so okay. Any last thoughts on Out of Alcatraz #1? Well, I will
It's good.
say if you like this book and you like Christopher Cantwell and you want to check out something that's more like a fairy tale, he has a book called Briar from Boom Studios, which is a retelling of the Sleeping Beauty story.
It's good.
But it's
Very
very
good.
it's very cool. Like it's a way twist on that. So forget Snow White live action coming out next week. Just go check out Briar instead. Uh, or watch the original Snow White. That's probably a better choice. So okay.